Is Bitcoin crashing to 42K? A lot of people want to know. Let's take a look. Hello, my name is Thomas. Some friends on Twitter express interest in videos to help them learn more about crypto and investing. Both can be complex topics to learn. I have a gift for making complicated things simple. Information in this video is for edutainment and not financial advice. Let's dive in. In this video, we'll cover Bitcoin weekly and daily technical analysis. And next time, we'll take a look at on-chain analysis and see the macro environments for Bitcoin. Let's start with the weekly chart. There's a lot of fear and anxiety in cryptoville right now. Bitcoin has been trapped in this descending triangle. The price will likely converge to the triangle point here. We have the descending triangle's resistant line, the W1 line, and then below we have the 42K support W2 line here. Let's take a look at the weekly RSI. We have the RSI trending down and towards around 46, and for RSI 70 is overbought, which is at the top here, and that usually is an indication of time to sell, and below around 30 is oversold, which can indicate a time to buy. On the MACD, we have 4 red bars here, and those histogram bars indicate bearish trends. Let's take a look at some other indicators. This pink line is the 50-week moving average. And that typically is a very strong support line that can dictate if we're in a bullish market, which is above the line, or when we fall below, we have a bearish market. Currently, we are below the pink line, the 50-week moving average, and that's very bearish. Next, let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands help us identify whether it's oversold, which is the bottom, or overbought, which is the top. Currently, it's sitting right between the bottom band and the median band right here. It's right there. And that's pretty moderate buy signal. Let's take a look at the bull market support band. The bull market support band is another indicator that tells you if Bitcoin is in a bull market, or which is on top. You see here's the ribbon right here. If it's above it, it typically indicates a bull market. If it's below, it typically indicates a bear or bearish market. Currently, it's been below for about 3 weeks now. So it's very bearish. Let's go to the daily chart. On the daily chart, Bitcoin has been trapped in this bull flag for over a month. There are too many unknowns to make a price prediction. So let's take a look at some paths that Bitcoin could take. If the price continues to dive and goes below the 42K support zone here for an extended period of time, the bull flag will be nullified because the bottom of the bull flag will be too far below. We typically want to see the bottom of that bull flag to be about midpoint here, or maybe right here compared to the pole. So if it dips too far below, it will be nullified, and it may retest, follow this path here, the retest path D3 towards 42, maybe 40, and possibly below. If it goes below 40, that's going to be very challenging to get back up because that's a very tough resistance line. The last 2 weeks, the price has consolidated more sideways. You can see that right here because it initially dropped, descended down this way, and then now you see it more, it's going more sideways somewhat. In the short term, Bitcoin will probably consolidate along this D1 line here. It'll go sideways and go this way. However, another path that it could take is that if it continues towards this to the right and it breaks above the bull flag resistance line, it could go upward and follow the D2 line towards around 49K, and then that's a pretty tough resistance level there too before it can get to 53K, which is it's even tougher to get to 60K. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band for the daily chart. The Bollinger Band for the daily chart and the weekly chart will be different because they're measuring different time frames, but they can look very similar. You can see here, here's the top of the Bollinger Band, and here's the bottom. And Bitcoin is currently sitting towards the bottom, but between the median line and the bottom band, which is very similar to the weekly chart. And that's a moderate buy signal and slightly bullish. Let's go to let's take a look at the 200-day moving average, which is this purple line here. That also is a very strong support line, and Bitcoin dipped below that for 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly about 4 or 5 days. And it's bearish. If it continues to go that route and stay below the 200-day moving average, I'll get more bearish. Let's take a look at the RSI. RSI has been following this D4 path, and that's been around for quite some time now. I drew that in about a couple weeks ago, and it's following that path. It's slightly inclining, which is good. So that's somewhat bullish. And on the MACD here, you can see MACD. You have about three histogram bars here that are turning green. That's an indication of a bullish trend coming. Hopefully that will continue. Well, that oh yeah, and this green box here, that's my estimate of where Bitcoin will go. I estimate that we're going to hit 53,000. We'll probably do it in mid-January, give or take 2 weeks. So that pretty much covers the daily chart. Next time, we'll review on-chain macro trends to get a better idea of where Bitcoin is heading. And so the conclusion, There's a lot of fear and indecisions in the market. Investors' boredom and patience will be tested, and eventually people will make up their mind and act. Then we'll know if Bitcoin is going to crash further or rally back up. It's unlikely we'll see Bitcoin rally by the end of this month. If BTC was to get back to 53K, it's more likely in January, like I mentioned. If Bitcoin crashes to 42K or below, remember, there's always another top coming. So make sure you hodl. Thank you, and see you next time.